Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen over the past week. I am your host, Mac, so let's get on with it. This week, CIG cracks down on those pesky 3.0 bugs, GamesCom creeps ever closer, plus we take a further look at the Outposts populating Crusaders' moons. Remember, throughout the month of August, we are giving away a Star Citizen starter package. This is courtesy of my patrons who helped me create these videos for you guys. All you're going to do is be a subscriber to my YouTube channel and comment below on any video that I put out during August just to stand a chance. So the latest schedule report for 3.0 is out, and the latest bug count is 77. We have 12 blockers, 37 critical, 23 high and 5 moderate. They say that the fog tech is now being implemented, which means that the new fog volumes need to be converted, so the ETA is still to be determined. Character customization has been impacted due to support on other areas, that is to be determined too. The vehicle customizer app is receiving additional polish after feedback, so that's going to be around the 4th of September. The ship selector and insurance is also receiving additional polish and will be ready the 29th of August. And same goes for the comm system UI, which is set to be ready on the 6th of September. The entity owner manager is now code complete. The back end is just hooking it up. And the Aurora revamp is now in bug fixing and polishing phase. So there's not so many this week. Do check out the ATV burndown for more information. We'll touch upon this a bit further in ATV section. So on this week's ATV, starting with the burndown, last week there was 83 issues, now we are at 77 issues. He says there's still lots of issues to get sorted out. We saw a few of the bugs and updates, etc. We also got to see a lot of the meetings to coordinate the build and sort of who's doing what where. Doors currently seem to be a bit of an issue for the Caterpillar, the Constellation, plus others. Doors are now more important, they're not just a case of open and close. They hold the environment in, plus they sort of represent areas of the physical grid as well inside the ships. We also saw the speed of an incremental 3.0 build using the new Delta Patcher, which only downloads the data needed. The current data that is already downloaded does not need to download them anymore, and it took a matter of seconds, which was very quick. Quantum drive, they say, currently is very dangerous. If two ships jumped at the same time, they would generally collide upon arrival, as well as hit asteroids on the way, so they need to sort that out. But there was one incident, I think, where they jump inside the system star and become the system star, which, yeah, that can't happen. Anyway, the main feature for ATV was to do with outposts and environmental storytelling. It's kind of a second look at the outposts. We did see them earlier on, a few months ago, I think. But it's how they're put together, as well as the stories that each outpost will tell. Now, each outpost will have some form of labeling, be it Rayari or Shuban. Rayari Corp is a high-tech hydroponic lab growing cutting-edge bioengineered plants used for medicine, so it will be represented in a clean and scientific, sterile environment. The drugs farm that we saw, the drugs lab, needs to look a bit more sinister. I reckon that's going to be on Delamar. But also Shuban will feel more oppressive and less pleasant compared to Rayari. But there will be independent companies having their own, with more character, being less tidy, because it's kind of at home from home, so they'll look lived in. Say someone saved money for a mining machine and then started their own independent operation. That's kind of what we'll see dotted around as well. Now, each company will have a colour scheme and logos which will be recognisable. They layer the dressing first, then build up the atmosphere and the scope of the landscape. So they're looking for natural, interesting areas, ones with, say, ridge lines, planets in the background, but they also have to keep in mind that would someone actually build here, you know, logically. So it just kind of makes sense where they are placed. But each outpost will give off a good indication of how long it's been there for, the type of climate it's located in, and the type of people living there. When integrating the outposts, they make sure that they embed them into the planet's surface and use these blend maps on the exterior assets, which allow it to sort of blend naturally into the surface so it doesn't look like it's just been plonked. The same for the walls. Things like sand and ice can be built up on the walls, and you can see it on the scale that they're using. But eventually, in jungle environments, we will see things like moss and vines as well. They did say that if there's been a sandstorm, they want to represent this with a build-up of sand, so they're going to fine details on this. But with the moons rotating and the lighting, these will change. So they want to make this, even if they find a nice location for an outpost, with the moon rotating and the backdrop changing, plus the time of day, it can look completely different. So we'll see them in completely various or variating lighting and so forth. It's going to look very, very cool. We did get to see some cool props for outposts like various cargo. Personally, I think it looks incredible, and I'm, for one, super stoked to visit these outposts. It's not just going to be a case of here's another one, You will be able to explore them and see the history and the backstory to them, kind of find out who lived there and whatnot. And with the weather effects, the time of day, the sound of the weather in the environment, it's going to be incredible. Anyway, just to finish off with ATV, they said there's not going to be an ATV next week due to Gamescom, so it'll be the week after that. Let's move on. So, if you haven't heard yet, Star Citizen will be attending Gamescom this year, and they will be having a presence on the shop floor as well, like they did last year, as well as streaming throughout the course of the week. So be sure to head over to their Twitch to check that out. But on the Friday, the 25th of August, starting at 9 PM CEST, 12 PM PDT, which is 7 PM UTC or 8 PM BST if you are in the UK, we'll start the annual presentation and party in which Star Citizen live stream and show off lots of what they've been working on. Very, very exciting. I cannot wait for it. I will be streaming a watch party on the Friday starting at around 7 PM BST, so 1 hour before the official CIG stream. We'll be having a few beers, building up the hype, chatting about what we're going to see, what we want to see. Feel free to come and hang out and let's, watch it together. But once the presentation starts, don't worry, I shall be muting my mic and going to the text format, so don't worry about missing anything. Anyway, my link to my Twitch channel is below. It is twitch.tv/supermacbrothers Ryan. Quite a mouthful, I apologise. I would love to see you all there. Also this week, Citizens of the Stars featured developer Spencer Johnson and community guest Jimmy Croker. Collision Course Part 2 is up, bringing a small in-fiction lore post surrounding the 3.0 environment. Bug Smashers looked into a flight control failure, and finally, for all RSI subscribers, the latest Jump Point is available. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.